All right, you guys, who's ready to make some awesome Christmas ornaments? I know I am. Hey everybody, this is Sassy with Seasons with Sassy. If you guys are new, I would love it if you would like and subscribe so you can get more of these awesome videos. This week I am going to be doing a bunch of different farmhouse Christmas ornaments, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is my favorite time of year where I get to decorate my Christmas tree, and I kind of do it different every year. So this is going to be a fun farmhouse Christmas tree this year. It's going to be really fun. So stick with us, and we are going to be making a bunch of different ornaments, and I might even be changing up some of my sprigs. I might be making them look a little different so they'll match my tree decor. So stick around and we will help you out with different ways for you to make some fun ornaments in your style for your Christmas tree this year. Okay, so the first ornament that I am going to be kind of giving a little bit of a updo is this really cute ice skate from the Dollar Tree. So I love everything about this ice skate boot except this bottom part. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using some Mod Podge in matte, and I'm going to be using some of this leaf metal silver flecking. So I'm going to Mod Podge this part first, and then I'm going to put some of that silver flecking on it so it just looks a little bit more real. Makes it look a lot better than this plastic piece on there. So let's get to doing that. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take off these, and you don't want to snip this because that is what you're going to hang onto your Christmas tree, these little jute twines at the top of there. So you don't want to snip that. Just make sure to kind of peel these top parts off. And after that, I am going to open up the package, and I'm going to do them in sets of 2 because for me, I just think it's going to look funny on my tree if I don't put these together, because they're supposed to be a pair of skates, not just one skate. That would look weird. To me, it would look weird. So I'm going to open up now. This is leaf metal that I got at Hobby Lobby, and it has 25 sheets in it. This is something that I did not get on sale, which is really out of character for me, but I did decide to go ahead and splurge on this. If you are looking for a cheaper way to do this, then another thought that I had, and I still might do this, is just wrapping this piece in some of the Dollar Tree jute twine, because I think that would match really well with the embellishment that it already has for the little ties or for the little decorative piece that it has around this boot. So that would be something that would be a little bit less costly than this leaf metal. I know that this is going to last me a really long time because it has 25 sheets in it. So yeah, it was a splurge for me. I'm just really excited to give this a try because I've never actually used it. So this was $8.99, which I know is a lot. For me, it's a lot, but like I said, 25 sheets. I know it's going to cover a lot. I'm going to be able to use it for a really long time, and I just wanted to try this method out anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And I'm going to just take out one of the sheets. I want to have it ready for when I put the Mod Podge on. And I know that the Mod Podge needs to be a little bit sticky. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Mod Podge on, and then I will start doing this metal flecking. So, Mod Podge, looks like I didn't open this one up yet. Alright, so like I said, I want it to be a little bit tacky, so I'm just going to save this brush for something else. At the end, I feel like I want to do, because my tree is going to be black and white and also have some of this natural looking color to it. So I also want little pops of red to go in my tree. Since my tree is green, I was trying to decide if I wanted to flock it this year, but I decided I don't want to flock it because a lot of the things that are around my tree are really white and gray, and so I wanted to keep that nice warm green of the tree, just because I didn't want it to blend in too much. So, and I like the green of the tree. So I do want to, on these little berries up top, I want to paint them with a chalk paint in red. Because like I say, I just want little pops of red here and there on my tree. Oh, I'm so excited, you guys. These ornaments are gonna be so cute. And the plan that I have for my sprigs that are going in my tree, it's just gonna be beautiful. I'm excited. And for you guys, you can always pick the colors that work best for your tree, and you can use the same ideas, just using your colors. Okay, so I'm gonna let that get a little bit tacky while I try and get some of these metal sheets out. Now like I say, I've never used these before, so I'm a little nervous on how to get them out. So it looks like that's one sheet in there, and then it looks like there's a bunch in this right here. And they are smart, and they have this like rice paper in between each one. That's super smart. I'm just gonna rub on that to make it a little bit tacky. This is just on the other side. Okay, so anybody who doesn't know, this flecking, it is so fine. It is so fine. And you just kind of have to, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You can just kind of just like lay it on there. And it looks so good. It kind of looks like you can just do little sheets here and there. It just looks galvanized almost. And it's gonna look so good. Okay, so you see how I'm just like tearing off some pieces, and then I'm just kind of randomly just putting them on here. Just tapping them on anything that's on the side, and just peel off, put on the side that isn't covered. And this is just something this is the very first ornament that I bought from the Dollar Tree. And like I said, I knew immediately I had to do something with it because the thought of having the ice skate was just so fun to me. But this bottom piece just looked there's really no other way to say it. It just looked so tacky. So I definitely wanted to jazz up this skate a little bit on the bottom. So I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, you guys, I will say after doing this, I would say this flecking is not for the faint of heart. It is, for me, very satisfying and fun because of the type of person that I am. Putting on this flecking is really kind of fun, just because it's satisfying how it like sticks to the skate. You do have to be very careful with this flecking, and it is kind of time consuming, I'm not gonna lie. But I do like it. I like how it looks. I love how this is looking right now. It does get kind of messy, but this is gonna look beautiful. This really is looking beautiful already. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's just kind of got this like rustic look to it. I am gonna go over the top of the flecking with some Mod Podge, and you can see right now this isn't completely dry on the bottom here, but it will dry clear. And then all you're gonna see is this lovely silver flecking on the bottom. And I really like the look of this. It does really look galvanized, just kind of rustic looking, instead of just like a smooth gray that you would get if you were to just use a like silver paint. So you're gonna kind of have to gauge how you want to do this, because if you want it to be fast and easy, I would definitely just go with a silver paint. You can paint the bottom. But if you do want it to have this more galvanized, kind of more rusticy look to it, then you will have to take a little bit more time, and you'll have to really try this. This is really fun. Like I said, this is my first time doing this, and I really loved it. It is really fun. Okay, so I'm going to paint these berries while these dry, and I will show you how it looks in the end when everything is done. Okay, you guys, these are done. So I'm just gonna kind of show you the difference between the ones that we used the silver flecking on and didn't, and the ones that we painted with the Waverly chalk. Not Waverly, sorry, this is Hello Hobby. Sorry, Walmart just continually switches between Hello Hobby and Waverly. So this one I used Hello Hobby chalk in Ruby. And oh my gosh, you guys, I love how these turned out. So I went ahead and I painted those cute little berries on top red, and you can just see the difference. This one just kind of looks kind of plain to me, and this plastic piece just looks so cheap. And going in with that silver flecking, I mean, I just love how this turned out. So it just gives it that little bit of red that I wanted on top there, and then it just made this skate looks so much more real. So I used the Mod Podge matte to put on the brown plastic first, and then I laid the silver flecking. Like I said, it does take a little bit. It takes a little while with this silver flecking. I put it on. You kind of have to let it set for a little bit, and then I went over the top with Mod Podge as well, just to make sure that that flecking stays on. Now, I could have, when I was putting on the silver flecking, I noticed that some, and you know, it breaks apart because it's very, very fragile, but I actually really liked how it looked when some of the brown of this plastic brown was just a little bit showing through, because to me it just made it look like it was rust. And so for me, I didn't go back over it and cover it up. I left the little spots with brown because it looked like rust, and I really liked that look. So you can choose if you want to cover up, you know, all of the brown pieces, or you can leave it, you know, leave it like it is, just kind of cracked and a little bit rustic looking. So that is it for these ones, you guys. And those will be going on my tree. And now we're going to be doing another ornament DIY. Okay, you guys, the next ornament that we're going to be upgrading a little bit is this lovely white bell. So I think this is really pretty. However, some of the ornaments that I got like this, they had kind of, and this one doesn't, but they had kind of like an orange like stain on them, and I couldn't get it off, and I kind of wanted to upscale this a little bit anyway. I don't like that it's a white shiny color, so I am going to be wiping this off, and then I'm going to be using the Hello Hobby chalk paint in white, and that's just going to give it a more rustic look. And then I might go in, depending on how I like it, I might go in and I might, you know, add some of the wax to make it look a little bit more rustic around some of these edges. But for now, I'm just going to paint it in this chalk white. I'm just going to go ahead and again take off. Some people forget that these are not what attaches it like to the, this is the hanger for the tree. So don't cut that off. Make sure you just peel off the top part. Don't cut off this. So I really like on this ornament, I don't know if you can see under there, but the wire ties are not completely attached to the inside of this. So it's going to be really easy to take this top part off. You just twist it and it just slides right out. Super easy, and it's going to be super easy once it's painted to just put it right back on. So we're going to take this part off for a second, and we're going to paint this part with this white chalk paint. And I'm actually on this one, because I don't want it to have like that smooth look, I'm not going to use a brush like this. I want to use this, and I got these from the Dollar Tree also, just in their crafters square section. I'm going to use a sponge brush. I'm going to use the smallest one. And we're just going to paint right over it. And the thing that I love about this chalk paint is that it dries so fast. Any crafter out there that's been crafting for a while, they know this. They know that the chalk paint it dries so fast, so amazing. And I know I've seen some people, they'll put, I I believe it's baking soda or baking powder or something, and it kind of gives your whatever you're painting like a really nice thick chalky, like a thicker chalky look. And I just didn't want to do that on this one today. I didn't want to try that out on this. I might try that out on a base later, but for now I'm just going to go around and paint this in the white chalk. Okay, I'm just gonna let this dry, and then I'm going to show you what else we're going to be doing with this bell. Okay, everybody, now that we've got this painted, it's just such a nice flat, chalky look to it, which to me is just, it seems like it'll go well with my farmhouse look. The shiny is just too, I don't know, too different for my look that I'm wanting for my farmhouse. So the other thing that I wanted to do to jazz this up is I wanted to add on another ribbon to this because it just seemed too flat. It just needed something else. And so I decided to add on another ribbon to this, and I had a hard time deciding, you guys. The Dollar Tree has really amazing ribbon. This just, I felt like, was going to be too much red for the look that I'm going for my tree. I want it to be mostly white and black, and then this lovely neutral burlapped or jute color with just teeny tiny pops of red. This was just too much. So I decided to go with the black and white buffalo check to add to this ribbon, just to add something to it. And for these kind of bows, these are the easiest way for me to make bows, is to just do this, and then all you have to do is scrunch this down to meet the bottom, and then you've got your two lovely bows there. So I'm just going to add this in to the wiring that was already in there. That's going to make this so simple. So I'm going to put it behind that wire, and then I'm just going to pull out my ends a little bit because I want it to be a little bit longer so you can see it a little bit better on both sides. And then once I do that, then I'm going to come up to my bow and I'm going to make sure that I have it even on both sides here before I wrap that wire around it. So I'm going to just twist this. That's going to hold that bow lovely and into place. And then all we have to do is just slide this back underneath. And this is exactly how they had it before. We're just going to slide it back underneath here. Pull it pretty tight. And then we're going to twist it up around just like it was before. Now you can leave it like this if you want, or I have seen other people, and I'm trying to decide if I want to do this too to mine right now. I think I kind of want to just leave it, but some people will do the like Ray Dunn style where they will put some words here like Mary or joy or something like that. I kind of want to leave mine alone just because I kind of want to go a little bit more of a natural look to my tree this year, and I feel like when I put too many words on things, it just doesn't look as natural to me. So I don't think I'm going to put any words on this, and I'll probably just leave it like it is. So we didn't have to do a whole lot to this one, and that makes me kind of happy. Doesn't take much to change it just a little bit, just to make it look a little bit better than how it started. So here is the ornament number 2. And all we did was repaint this with a chalk paint so it was a little bit more flat. And then we added in some of this white and black buffalo check. So that is our second ornament. And we'll move on to the next one. One thing that I forgot to mention that does give this just a little bit of a higher quality look is I like to do the ducktail on this. I don't know if you can see very well, but that is just when you make this into like a V shape. that makes it look a little bit more high-end. And so when I say ducktail, what I mean is you take your end of the ribbon and you squish it together so that the two sides are sticking together, and then you just cut down in like a V shape. Oh, I did that the wrong way. Let's the other way. And then that way it just kind of has a little bit better look to it than if it's just cut straight across. If you don't like this, you can always just cut it at a slant also. Okay guys, the third ornament that we're doing this year, I'm super excited about. I really feel like the Dollar Tree is upping their game in their ornaments. Now, these, normally I like to buy multiple ornaments for $1. However, these are so nice and big. They're so big. They're a little bit bigger than the size of my hand, which, I mean, that's pretty decent size. So I felt like it was okay to do the splurge this year and get these bigger ornaments for $1. I know that sounds funny because most ornaments are more than $1, like if you go to Hobby Lobby or anywhere else, but I'm a girl that likes to get a really good steal. So even when I'm at the Dollar Tree, I like to see if I can find, you know, like these ornaments. There is 16 in here, and yes, they're small, but I know that I'm going to make these over, and I know I'm going to make them go a longer way, but that's kind of how I think. So I think, you know, these are smaller, but there's more in them, so they're worth $1. These ornaments here are bigger, and so they're worth the $1 that I get at the Dollar Tree. So that's just kind of my way of thinking there. So with these, I am going to be painting these white. I feel like the trim on these is what I'm going to do a little bit differently so that it can bring out either, you know, those little pops of red that I was talking about with these ornaments here, or, you know, possibly might do some buffalo check on them also, and then do something else with just a little pop of red. But the base of these, I'm just going to paint white. So I'm just going to get started. And you know, I'm not loving this brush for this, so I'm just gonna stop doing that right now. I think I'm gonna go in with this brush because, you know, I like that brush when I was doing this because it gave it a more, you know, thicker, kind of chalkier, a little bit more texture look on this. But with these, I feel like I want it to be a little bit more smooth. I don't really want the thicker, chunkier look for this, so I think I am gonna go in with a brush and paint these. And as soon as I'm done with these, I will show you the end result. Okay, you guys, these dried really nice. I just decided to go ahead and paint these white, and then I am going around in this Desert Tan chalk paint, also Hello Hobby, and I'm just kind of doing a dry brush on it, so I'm not getting very much on this at all, and I'm kind of scraping it off on the sides because I want to do a more dry brush on this, and I've already kind of started. But I don't know if you can see, it just kind of gives it just a slight little bit more rustic look on this. I wanted it to not be like a dark look, a dark rustic look on this because the slates are already white. So I'm just going in with a tan, and I'm just going around the edges a little bit where things would maybe rust. And I'm just giving it a quick dry brush all the way around the edges just to give it kind of a little bit of a more rustic look that would be for this white sled. If it was maybe like a little bit darker of a color, I might use a darker dry brush paint, but where this is white, I want it to stay kind of like this nice tan rustic look. So that's what I'm going to do first, is I'm going to go around all the edges, give it kind of that rustic look, and then I'm going to try and decide what I want to put on top of these. I've kind of decided that I do like these bows, these buffalo check bows. I'm not sure if I want to use it for both of them because I want them to be different since they're different sleighs. And I also have these laser cut wood pieces that I got from the Dollar Tree also. and they are kind of a darker brown, so I want them to be a little bit lighter. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do these maybe in like a gray. I don't know, we'll see. But these pieces are going to look really cute on top of these. Also, another possibility that I'm going to decide on is I did just get this chalk couture kit, and so I am thinking I might use, most likely on this one, just because it has more, you know, flat open space, I might use one of these stencils from the chalk couture to put on this one. I'm kind of really liking these skates. I thought that would be really cute on there, or even the Jingle All the Way would be fun. But anyway, all of these are really, really cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out, and then I'm gonna decide which stencil I want to use on this one, and then which color I'm going to use on this, and I will be right back. Okay, I've decided to paint this star black, and then I think I've decided to use these skates and do those in black on this as well. And I think on this one I'll probably do kind of like a burlap bow, since this one is going to have this black and white check bow. I just kind of want them to be just a little bit different and have different kinds of dimensions, since they're different sleds. So first I'm going to paint this star, and I'm going to get my, this is a wet wipe, I'm going to get my brush a little bit wet because I don't want it to be too thick, since this is a really kind of a dainty star. I don't know how else to say that, but I don't want to put too much on it. I'm kind of going to be doing, I guess, a dry brushing on this star as well, and I'm really going to make sure I don't have too much of this black on there. It's just going to be very kind of a light brushing on it. And I like how this is looking already. It's kind of like a distressed, which is what we're going for. You can't tell. Let's see how many times in this video I can say distressed. But that's, you know, that's what we're going for. The farmhouse look is distressed. So you can kind of see, it's kind of hard to see, but it has this, let's do this, really nice, I'll get a better picture of it. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it has a really nice distressed look to it. It's not completely a really hard black, but it has just some of that natural brown showing through, and that's just because I'm just doing a dry brushing of this. And oh my gosh, this looks awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna glue that. And the good thing with these is, you know, you don't have to do the back because it's only the top that you're gonna see. So I am going to take my glue, and I'm just gonna put just a little bit on each in the middle and then on each corner. I don't want to do too much because we don't want it to show, and be very careful. I'm super close to my fingers, but I didn't get me, so I must be doing good. Perfect. Okay, so there's that. All right, now I'm going to go to this one, and you can see, you know, the desert tan that I used. I went through these ridges here to make sure that that was nice and defined, and then I went around all the edges on this one also. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cut through this chalk couture stencil. When you first get these stencils, you know, it has the lines that shows you exactly where you're needing to cut them off or cut them apart. These stencils are amazing. Now, the paint that I am using today is not the chalk couture paint, so once I use this, I'm really gonna need to go and run and put this under water, because with the chalk couture, they like to use a washable chalk because they're actually using these on chalkboards that you can redecorate each season. So anytime you use these, it's like an actual, it's not a chalk paint, it's more like a liquid chalk, like actual chalk. So I need to get the mat out. That's the chalk couture mat. And I need to, as I'm peeling this off, I need to stick it to this so that it doesn't stick too hard to the sled. And the reason why I like the chalk couture stencils is because they have all these really fun details. You see the little dots where like the laces on the skates are supposed to go. Most of the time with a stencil, it would have to be connected with something, but this has a super, super, super fine, like it's like a screen underneath that holds it in place, but it lets that ink get through so that you can have all these really nice pieces and you don't have the, you know, the stencil that keeps it together with like little tiny lines and stuff that you have to fix later. So see, I just peeled that off and you can see that there's like a screen there. So it says the first time that you use these, you need to kind of make sure that it's got some fuzz on there so you're going to be able to pull it up. So I did that a few times. Now I'm going to place the stencil where I want it to go. And I want that bow right in between this middle kind of slat there. And there is going to be some space where there won't be anything because of the... Oh, I don't like that placement. Hold on. That's what's nice about these. You can just pin them right back up. If you don't like the placement, more in the middle. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna have to kind of hurry fast, and once I put the chalk on this, with these kinds of stencils, you can't peel them sideways like this. You have to peel them, like you have to pull them straight up. So this is kind of going to be a fast process. And you kind of also have to do like a squeegee technique. So I'm gonna paint this on, and then I'm gonna use the squeegee. All right, guys, I'm gonna up. Let's see how we did. Like I say, you have to pull straight up on these. So I'm going to stand up. And then I'm going to run and rinse this off. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, I'm going to run and rinse this off. All right, you guys. All right, so I am just going to stick this bow on top here of this one. Perfect. Okay, one thing that I forgot to mention is on this one, I didn't take off this jute twine when I was painting it, and it was kind of just in the way, so I decided on this one to actually take the jute twine off, and it made it a lot easier. The other thing that I would recommend is definitely sanding these down. These kind of had quite a few rough edges, and while it gives it, you know, again, a rustic look, if you're going to have kids that might be touching these or playing with these, you might want to, actually you will want to sand them down so they don't get slivers on them. All right, so this one looks pretty good. It does feel like it needs a little bit of red somewhere, so I'm going to figure out how I want to add some red to this one. With this one, I'm going to add some ribbon. And I think there's these two ribbons. This one kind of has like a zigzag pattern on it. I'm not sure which ones. I'm gonna cut some off and then we'll decide. If you guys are wondering why I don't do like step by step, do it exactly this way, it's because I want you guys to learn that you can change your mind and also you can do it in your own way. I'm just giving you some ideas of some things that you can do for your projects. But you can, I want you to realize that you can make them your own. So that is why I don't have a specific formula most of the time. Sometimes I will, and that's fine. But again, you don't have to do it my way, you do it your way, and you do it with the colors that you like. So there's this one. We're gonna see which one I like best for this. I have to lay it out on top and then decide, because you can just get a better idea that way. I really do love the Dollar Tree's ribbon choices. They are pretty cute. All right, so just like the bow that we did for this bell, we're gonna go like this, cross over, and then we're just gonna pinch it down. And then I'm gonna look and see, I'm gonna adjust the lengths a little bit to see which one I like better. Okay, there's that one. And I'm gonna look next to this too because I wanna see how it's gonna look side by side. So I kind of like that this is two-toned. It has two different colors of brown on it, or tan. But I feel like I might like this one better. And again, we'll go around this bow with a middle piece so it doesn't look just flat. It'll give it more dimension. I'll go around with a little piece of this if I choose that one. Decisions are hard when it comes to this. It's a fun decision, but you want to make the right one. I don't think I like this one. I think I like this one. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna go with this one. I'm going to wrap this around. I might add some, I don't know, I might add some little bits of red on here. I didn't add any little bits of red on this bow, which I might go through and add just a couple of the berries like that are on top of these here, but I don't want too many berries, so we'll see. We will see. We want it all kind of the same theme, but not all the same, if that makes sense. Because we really want this to be kind of a neutral tree with just little pops of red. So I'm gonna put this bow together, and then I am going to decide what little pops of red I'm gonna add to this, and then I will show you what I decided. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how I'm doing my bows really fast. I mean, I know I showed you do the loop thing like this, but I want my bows to be the same size. So what I did is I just I kind of put it in half and then laid it on top of the middle of that bow, and I laid it across the top, and I just did the crisscross in front of this bow because I want it to be the same size as this bow on this sled. And then I can cut off the tails to be the same size as this bow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hot glue these two pieces together. I'll just show you what I mean by that. So I take my hot glue gun and I just put a little dab right there. And then I meet up the middle, just like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a piece of this, just kind of like a short piece. I would say, I mean, you could do about 1.5 inches just to make sure that you're gonna get it to go all the way around. I also decided that I'm going to use this as my pop of red on this one. So this is just some Dollar Tree ribbon as well. It's just, again, Crafter Square. And it has a cute little red truck. It says Merry Christmas on it. It has a cute green Christmas tree on it. I just think that's gonna add a nice pop of the red that I wanted on here. And so again, I'm just gonna come up here. I'm gonna try and make sure that my bow is about the same size. And then I'm gonna glue this middle piece. I'll make sure that it doesn't move so it stays in place. I'm gonna go over this one first, and then this middle one, and then try and make sure that you're getting even loops. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna put these together and then I will show you the end result. All right, you guys, with the front piece of this bow, I went ahead and I glued this straight piece on the front, and then I flip it to the back, and then I'm just gonna glue these two pieces also. So I bring this one up. Normally, you guys, I have my pink finger protectors, but I have not been able to find them. I need to look in the bag where I did my last project. Anybody else have that problem? There's stuff in their last, and I'm really gonna try and pull this tight. I don't have my finger protectors, so I'm just gonna use the end of this. And if there's a little extra like there is on this one, you just cut it off. And then again, I think I'm gonna put it down on this lower bar here because this sled right here is a little bit bigger or taller than this sled here. So, you know, again, I want the bows to be about the same level. So I put it on the lower, I'm gonna put it on this lower bar here. And I'm also going to cut the ribbon so it does this ducktail like this one is doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down before I do the ducktail. And I also want more, I think I want more of this really pretty kind of lacy ribbon showing. So I'm gonna cut this red one probably up to the truck. But I'm not gonna wanna do it up to the truck now because I'm doing a ducktail. So I'm gonna cut off the Merry, I'm gonna cut off the Christmas. And then I'm gonna do the ducktail. Okay, so I'm gonna do the ducktail on the lacy ribbon first. And remember with our last one, this bell, how we put it together, and then we're gonna wanna cut from bottom to top, and then it just makes that pretty little ducktail on there. Pinch the two sides together. And you're cutting not from the open side, but from the closed side. And you go from bottom to top. And we're gonna do the same thing with this cute truck ribbon. I want this to kind of be small, so I'm gonna do it kind of small. And if you guys want to, and I'm gonna make sure I don't get that truck, so I'm gonna go from the truck to the top. Push together, go from the truck to the top. All right, so there is this one. This one is done. I'm just gonna put the jute back in, and this can kind of be tricky to put it back in once you've undone it, so I usually just cut off a tiny bit of where all that is fraying, and then it's just a little bit easier to get inside. If all else fails, you can use a needle. I got these they're called piercing and scoring tools, also from the Dollar Tree. Guys, their crafter square is amazing. They have all kinds of tools, and just the wood that's in that section is amazing. So I'm just going to use this piercing tool to kind of slip through the other side so I can get it to go through. I did leave the one end of this still tied because I figured, why undo it if I don't have to? I know I've seen some people, they'll put like wax on it and then stick it through. I just don't want to take the time to do that. I'm just going to poke it through with this little, just watch your fingers. Might just be easier to leave it on. It was just a little harder to go around it for me, but I feel like it was easier to go around it with the paint than it is to stick it back on. So probably for the rest of my sleds that I'm going to make, I will probably just leave it on. I will leave that up to you guys, whether you want to leave it on or not. This is just kind of a pain. And my phone's going off like crazy. Thought I turned it up. All right. So you just do a knot. I'll definitely be cleaning up the edges of the knot on this one. All right. This one is done. Now I'm gonna figure out what I want to do for my little pop of red on this one. I think I might go over this. I think I might go over this little bow area right here in red. We'll see. Okay, you guys, so I remembered that I had this pack of baker's twine, also from Crafter's Square at the Dollar Tree, and it came with these three colors, and I really like this red and white. So I decided I'm just going to put some bows, very tiny bows, on top of these skates here. And I think that's just gonna give it the pop of red that that I would like for my tree. So anytime I'm doing a small bow, I still give myself plenty of length because it's just too hard to tie a bow when you have very little string. So I'm gonna go ahead and start big, and then I'm gonna go smaller. And it's gonna be quite a bit smaller because these skates are pretty small. I like that size. I'm just gonna leave that one there for a second while I do the other one. And I am gonna leave the length of the strings a little bit long just because I want to see more of that red on this ornament. Perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna actually do the gluing part first, and then I'm gonna do the trimming. Now I'm just using my nail on this so it's not burning me. For you guys, I would suggest using a different tool to do that so you don't burn yourself. And I wanted to also let you know, I did end up using the other ribbon to thread through this black and white check bow, just because I thought, I'm using two ribbons on this one, I might as well use two ribbons on this one, and I liked how this one looked better on the black and white buffalo check than it did with this. So I did thread that through, and then I just glued the tails to the bottom of these tails. All right, now I'm just gonna cut these ribbons. And like I say, I want them to be a little long, but not too long. So I'm just gonna kind of see how it looks hanging, because that's where you're gonna see it on my tree, is you're gonna see it hanging flat. I do do them even, it doesn't give it dimension, and you want to give it dimension. And if you want to, I'm sure you could glue these down, but I don't want to. I like how it looks, just hanging willy-nilly. Okay, these ornaments are done, and I think they turned out super cute. And yeah, I'm super excited about these ones. Cute little skates with red ribbons, and then I doubled up on the bow on this one. Just painted and then added a little bit of dimension on the sled by adding some tan paint to make it have a little bit more of a farmhouse rustic vibe. Same with this. I just did the paint in white and then added the tan paint around for the rustic edge. I did paint this star a little bit kind of a rustic black on it and glued it on, and then I glued these two bows together and put it on the sled. So that is it for ornament number 3, and we will be moving on to this pretty one right here. This is a really nice heavy block, and I will be showing you in just a minute what we're going to be doing with these. I'm super excited. I have 5 of these. I'm only going to show you one, but I'll show you what we're doing with these. Okay, you guys, we're going to move right along. I am just going to let you know for this ornament what we are doing. And this is so easy and it's so cute and has such a nice effect. So take off the tag. Again, I'm using these Crafters Square sponge brushes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be Mod Podging some paper onto these. And these are some papers. I'm not using these ones. I'm going to use these ones for some, I mean, look how cute these are. Let's see, these ones are called Photoplay, and these are so cute. They have gnomes on them, but they don't go with my theme. So I am thinking I'm going to be using some of these ones. And these ones look like they're too small. These ones would be big enough. These ones would be big enough. These ones would be too small. So I'm going to pick from these 2 pieces of paper. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to pick which of these cute little squares that we want to put on these blocks. And you guys, this is so easy and it's so nice because it's already done. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out with my paper trimmer. And then I will be putting some Mod Podge on the top of this, and then we'll lay the cute little picture down, and then I'm going to be sanding around it. So first I'm going to cut these out, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this cute ornament together. Okay, I'm going to show you really fast. All of these papers have a little strip at the bottom that's, you know, gonna tell you like who they're by, what their brand name is. So this one is Dear Santa, and it looks like Carta Bella paper company, so it's from. But we're gonna want to trim this off just to make it even. And these paper trimmers are so nice. This is a Cricut paper trimmer. I just barely got this one because my old one, it just seemed like it wasn't cutting very straight. You want to make sure you get a nice straight line so that you're not going to get any of the extra on the bottom. So we've cut off that. We're just going to cut these straight down the middle. And I really like to, before you put your paper trimmer down, your ruler, I really like to make sure that I've got this right in the middle where I want it, from the top and the bottom, so that you're not getting any of those extra sides. And these are my favorite kind of papers. When I go to any store, most of the time, you know, I haven't seen these at Hobby Lobby actually, and that makes me really sad because I love Hobby Lobby. They have lots of amazing things and lots of variety usually, but usually they don't have the kind of papers that have, you know, these lovely words on them that you can make banners from, or that you can, you know, like we're doing, make these cute little ornaments. They usually have just papers that are all one design. I have seen these a lot of the times at Joann's. So I always find these in their loose paper section. At Joann's, I have actually seen that they have these kind of papers in their bundles, and I'm trying to remember which bundle packs I've seen them in. I'll have to take a look and show you guys when I get these all together. So that's how you just break those down. I haven't decided which, I've got 5 of these blocks here, so I've got to pick which papers I want. That's, I feel like the hardest part is picking which ones. Probably not this one because it's got, you know, a space for you to write something, which is fine. You could write something and still use it on there, but I like that they already have these cute pictures or sayings on them, and it just makes it super easy. You can just pick one out really fast and just put it on there. All right, so I'm gonna pick and then I'll show you what we're gonna do next. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys in a little bit on my thought process for these ornaments. So, because most of these papers are, you know, lengthway, like horizontal, I'm going to be taking off all of these, and then I'll show you how I'm going to make it so that they can hang this way instead of this way. But my thought process for picking these out was what is actually going to fit on this block. You really need to make sure that it's going to fit. So even though I love this, you know, the Dear Santa letter to the North Pole, to Santa Claus for, at the North Pole, it's not going to fit on there. It's going to take off too many of these cute words and things like that. So anything that I don't use on these blocks, I'm going to be using in a banner. And so a lot of thought goes into this for me. So I am making sure that all of the colors kind of match up. So I liked all these greens. First, you make sure that they fit on there. Then you make sure that they have the right color scheme. So I made sure that these have the right color scheme and that they are going to fit on the block. And then with the rest of them, I kind of have decided, you know, the colors don't match up with this one as much. This is a little bit brighter blue. The words don't fit on this. This would fit, but the green is a little bit different than the rest of these greens. And then these two have to do with food. And so for me, I want to put this banner somewhere close to my hot chocolate bar. So this one says North Pole Milk and Cookie Co. And then this one says Frosty Snowflake Cafe. So I know I want these two to be in a similar banner. So that's how I chose these blocks, or sorry, these pieces of paper for these, because I know they're going to fit, the colors all match up, and they're going to match the decor on my Christmas tree, because they've got the black, the white, pop of red, they've got some green, which, you know, this has green on it, these have green on it, and the tree is green, so it matches, and it's great. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to take off all of these baker's twines, because I am not going to be hanging it this way. I'm going to be hanging them this way. And the nice thing about when we cover these is that it's going to cover up that hole just by putting the paper on there. And then I'll show you how I'm going to hang it the other way once we're done with this part. So I think I'm going to do this cute Merry Christmas one to show you guys first on this one that already has the baker's twine off. And again, I'm just doing one ornament at a time to show you guys, because it's just easier for me to show you one ornament, because it can get a little time consuming, but this one should be pretty fast. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna take your brush, your sponge brush, and you don't want to do this like too thick, but you don't want to do it too thin either, because you really want to make sure it's going to stick to this block. And oh my gosh, these blocks, I love these blocks. These were in the Crafters Square area at the Dollar Tree. All of these bases are from the Dollar Tree. Some of the things that I use to upgrade them a little bit or upscale them a little bit, some are from the Dollar Tree and some of them are not. But anything that I get, I always get on sale. Like these pieces of paper, I believe we're at Joann's. I've been to a lot of places lately. I believe they were at Joann's. Most of the time I get them from Joann's. Sometimes I get them at a conveniently named place called Locals, and they have really cute things there. They're a little bit more expensive there, but I don't feel so bad because I feel like I'm supporting a local company. So I like getting stuff from there as well. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of let that get a little bit tacky before I stick this on. I don't want it to dry too much, but these kind of are thicker pieces of paper. They have a really nice texture and they're nice and thick. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure I'm going to get all my words in that Santa on there. And so I'm going to place this down and kind of fill underneath look, make sure that that's all gonna be on there. And I can feel that that is all gonna be on there. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna let that set for a minute. Kind of smooth it out. If you want to, you can use a brayer or a credit card or something to kind of smooth over it. For those of you that don't know what a brayer is, this is a brayer, and you can just really rub that on. But like I say, you can use any kind of flat surface, card. And that's kind of going to give you that nice outline of where you're going to want to sand. I'm going to sand these off. All right. So now I'm going to flip it upside down, and I'm just going to trim a little bit off with my scissors, but really the majority of this I'm going to let the sander take it off. Sorry guys, it's like end of school day today. I've got my phone off, but the alarms still go off. All right. And I don't have my sander, so I'm going to go grab my sander, and I will be right back. Okay, everybody, I just can't believe that I did this. Normally, I would take this piece and I would make sure that it's going to cover all the right areas that I want on top, like this. Make sure it's covering all of the lettering, and then I would trace around it and then put it on top, and I didn't do that this time. I am just kicking myself in the butt. However, I didn't want to pretend like I did it fine, because I want you guys to know that it's okay to make mistakes, and there are ways to fix these mistakes. I did try and take it off. It's not going to come off, it'll rip it. So the part that I cut off on the bottom, I'm just going to glue to this, and then I am going to sand it down. So I'm going to do that, and we'll show you how I'm going to attach the hanger to that when I'm done. Okay, I'm just going to take this Diamond Cosmetics nail file, and I just find these are a little bit easier to hold on to than just a piece of sandpaper. And I really like the size of these. They're a little bit bigger. So I am just gonna go through and I'm going to sand off the edges of this. All right, we are done with the top part of this ornament, and just because I kind of messed up on this one, I am going to show you how much easier it is when you do it the correct way, because this bottom edge was definitely harder to file down. Well, I've already done a Santa, so I'm either going to do the reindeer or the stockings. I'm going to do the reindeer. All right, so the first thing that you're going to do, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to make sure that I've got definitely all of that reindeer wording covered. I don't want to be in your way. And I want it to be even on both sides as well. Okay, and then I'm going to trace around it. Okay, and now on this piece of paper, it didn't completely get all of the reindeer or all of the warm blankets and cocoa, but it covers it enough that you're going to be able to see it on there. And again, I'm just going to trim it a little bit, not a lot, and not clear up next to it, because like I say, I like that sanded down look. I think it's going to look really nice and very, again, rustic, which is what we're going for. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the Mod Podge again, and brush. Like I say, everyone is different. I just like the Mod Podge just on the bottom. I like the feel of the natural texture of this paper. It really is nice and thick. Make sure I really got that where I want it to be. sprayer. Make sure it doesn't slide away from me. It just did. I want to make sure it doesn't have any air bubbles. The sprayer is so nice, but like I say, you can use a foam folder or a card, like a credit card or debit card. Alright. Alright, there's this one. Reindeer sleigh rides, 5 cents per ride, warm blankets and hot cocoa. Oh, you guys, these are so cute. And I think these definitely are gonna need some ribbons around them. It's just gonna give it the little upscale look that it needs. Okay, so that is our ornament number 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to be showing you guys some ornaments that I got from the Dollar Tree. Again, most of these are from the Dollar Tree. I'm just giving the Dollar Tree ornaments that I get that upscale look. So first thing I'm gonna do, this one came in a pack of 7, and these ones, there's a bunch of different sizes that they have. The smaller ones came in a pack of 12, and then the even smaller ones came in a pack of 15, and then there was really teeny tiny ones that came in a pack of 16. So I'm of course going to upscale all of these, and that's just going to give my trees some dimension with the different size ornaments. Most likely these 2 smaller ones I'm going to be using on my smaller Christmas trees that go in front of my fireplace or outside, but these sizes I'm definitely going to be using on my tree that's going in my living room. So with these, I'm going to be using some buffalo check material that I got at the Dollar Tree again. It is this lovely scarf material, and I am so excited that they came out with this scarf because I'm going to get just the right amount of ornaments with these. So I'm going to be cutting these in strips, and that's just one of the ornaments that I'm going to be doing. I also have some of this lovely Chanel yarn, and I knew as soon as I saw this online that I needed to be looking in the stores for this, and they were completely out of it today. I got this maybe like 3 weeks ago, and I got 5 of them because I knew that they were going to go fast. So I'm going to be using the black and the white, and I haven't decided yet. I might do a combination of both on some, and then I might do some individually. And I'm going to be wrapping that all around these ornaments after I Mod Podge them on. It's going to be awesome. I think I'll do this one first. So to start with, let's take these out. They're kind of in there good. We'll try this side. This is the deep side. And they keep these in there good. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take out, and the ones with the glitter I think are going to be the ones that I want to do the buffalo check on, just because it'll be a lot easier to use these smooth ones to put the yarn around, the Chanel yarn. These are kind of buggered out. It does come with these little topper things, but I actually just bought some wire ornament hangers from the Dollar Tree that I'm going to be using instead of these. But who knows, we could use this for something else maybe. Isn't that what all of us DIYers think? I could use this for something else. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna cut this into strips. And we're gonna take these silver balls. And I want all the strips to have some black and some white on them. So first thing that I'm going to do, this one's kind of uneven on the end. So I'm just going to cut it so that it's even piece. Okay, so there's a couple different ways that you can do this, but I'm just gonna show you the way that I wanna do this. And you can do it however you want. But I'm gonna take these pieces because you can see that they have different patterns on them. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to Mod Podge right down the center of this ball. And I think I'm actually gonna use a painter's brush. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use this brush. You can use one of these smaller ones, but I think I want to use this one just because I think it's going to stick on a little bit better. That top of that Mod Podge, it's got a clump. Okay, so I'm just gonna go straight down the middle of this, and you wanna give it a really nice, good coat. And you're just gonna go straight across the ball from the front side to the back side. And then you're gonna take and you want to kind of make sure that it's even. So I'm gonna try and find my middle here and drape it across, just like that. And you're gonna wanna keep these on, don't cut them off. Really, I think you can just paint the rest of this after that point because it takes it a minute to dry, so it's gonna be fine. And surprisingly, this glitter is not even coming off. They must have Mod Podged over this glitter. Yeah, actually, right there, because that's where it's going across. This is so easy to cut. You don't have to worry about it having... Okay, so now you're gonna see what I want to do is I want to make the squares a little bit uneven. So that, and then the other side, just like that. Okay, now, this is what I could do with that gold. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use that gold that they were gonna use to hang. I'm actually just gonna tie this up. Actually, no. Most of the stuff on my tree is not gold. It's going to be silver, so I don't want to add gold to them. But I have plenty of other, like baker's twine, or, oh no, I'm just going to use regular twine. Oh my gosh, this is going to look so cute. I just have some regular jute that I got from the Dollar Tree. This is like my favorite thing to do, you guys. It's just kind of just go with the flow, figure it out as I go. Don't like that, but oh my gosh, I love it when inspiration just strikes. Okay, so there's this jute, and that's what I'm gonna wrap around and tie these fun things together. And you can still see on the inside where the hanger is, right there. And we're gonna make it so you can still see that, so that you can take the ornament hangers and you can still hang it from that middle piece there. But I just love how this looks. And I know that they sell these at the Dollar Tree individually for like $1 for one. So that's why I love getting multiple. It just makes it last so much longer. Now when making your bows for these, I always say the more the better, because you want to make sure that you have enough on there to make your really nice bow. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Now I'm gonna tie this in 2 knots, I should say, because I really want to make sure that that's staying around that middle piece there. And I am gonna go in and I'm gonna even these up, not too much, because you don't want it too even. You want it to still look a little bit shabby chic. So I'm gonna double this up. I'll move this aside so you can see it better. Oh gosh, these are so cute. And if you want to, and I might do this too, I might add a little bit of hot glue just to make sure that that bow doesn't come undone. So actually I'm gonna do that before I tie it. So you guys, aren't you glad I'm doing this? Figured out all the kinks for you. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna add some hot glue right there. Oh my gosh, you guys. So, I mean, how cute is that? Alright, so I'm going to trim these just a tiny, but I do like having them hanging down a little curly. I think that's good, right there. Okay, so this one right here is a little bit tall, and it's kind of bugging me, so I'm going to trim this one a little. Just do a hair trim, because you know what they say, can't go back once it's trimmed off. But again, you don't want them all the same lengths, because it gives it dimension if they don't. All right, guys, there you go. That is ornament number 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is ornament number 5. All right, now I'm going to show you with these ornaments how I want to do the, and for sure I want to use Mod Podge for this. With the hot glue, I think it's just going to be, that might be a little bit scary, and this will be so much faster. This is so nice. Oh, no, yeah, here we go, pull from the middle. Maybe, I'm not really sure. This is gorgeous, but I don't know if you can see it. Oh, here, there we go. Okay, so now I'm trying to decide if I want to do just all in black or if I want to swirl it with, this is what's nice about having 2 options. Let's see where the start of this was. This is kind of a mess. Where's the start? Maybe that's why this is $1. You can't find the start anywhere. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay. So I'm trying to decide if I kind of want to put these together and go around. So it's kind of like a lovely black and white swirl. I think I'm going to try that. We're going to try this. We'll see how this looks. We'll see how this works. And for this one, I am going to take off, I'm trying to decide, because I might try and see if I can pinch this. We'll see if we can start that to see if it'll hold it there. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit up top here to start us out. Kind of hold this in place. It's probably wishful thinking. Oh my gosh, guys, that's amazing. See how it just popped right on top of that? Oh, that's gonna be so nice to have that just held in place. Okay, so now I'm just gonna cover this whole, well, no, maybe I'll go halfway. I'm gonna cover half of this ball. And then when we're through with half, we'll do the rest of the way. So see how I'm just very lightly doing this around. You don't want it to too tight or it's not going to go on the way you want it to. I'm kind of holding it with this finger right here as I turn it. I think this is going to be one of my favorite ornaments. If you're wondering, I'm totally getting a ton of this Mod Podge on my fingers, but it's not on the area, okay, I need to put more Mod Podge on, where this is, so it's not going to keep it up. I don't know about you guys, but I love soft looking ornaments. One of the ornament packs that I got from Dollar Tree that I think I bought maybe 10 of them was the white flocked icicles, and immediately I had to grab those up because they were quality. And I will show you guys decorating my Christmas tree with those, with all of these ornaments on my Instagram account, Seasons with Sassy on Instagram. You should follow me there too. This is kind of nice doing this 2 at a time. Check and make sure that you're really covering that fold though, and also that you're not getting glue on the outside. Now on this end piece, I am going to give this some hot glue to make sure that it stays on really good. Alright you guys, this is pretty darn cute, and it's super soft. So I can make some of these, or I can do some all white ornaments or all black ones, and they're just this super fun soft, and they look textured with the different colors. I don't know, I'll probably make a couple more of these and then do some that are all white and some that are all black. So that is, I think, ornament number 6, and I don't think that I have any more DIY ornaments, because I think some of the things that I got from Dollar Tree are already kind of how I want them to be. These are called garlands, but I'm actually going to just put them on as ornaments. So I'm going to kind of make them look like a wreath on the tree. Already done, $1, super cute. Just gonna put a little hanging on them. So I think this is all for my ornaments. I will be showing you in another DIY how I am doing my sprigs that I'm going to be putting inside my tree, because I did get some sprigs today that I'm just going to be spray painting, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I got them 75% off because they were fall, and I'm just going to spray paint them. It's going to be awesome. that's all for this DIY for these ornaments. I hope you enjoyed it. Just to recap, we did these fun ice skates, and then we did this fun bell, and then we did these super cute sleighs, and then we did these. And you guys, I'm just gonna put some ribbon around these, and all I do, I'll just show you before we go so you guys can see. All I'm going to do is I'm going to, because they have the hole right here, they were supposed to hang this way, all I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue them like this. Super, super easy. And then around the sides, I'm going to be putting some ribbon, and I'll show you pictures of all of these like I normally do at the end of the video. So you'll see what they look like with the ribbon on them as well. But these, they are kind of heavy, so I guess I want to put the hangings on both ends of these because they're kind of heavy. It'll help support the weight. So there's that. So that'll hang that, but it'll have a ribbon. I think I'm gonna do a little bow at the top with a ribbon around the side. So there's these ornaments that we made. And then there are these cute wrapped ones that we made at the very end. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you do something fun and creative with these ideas that I've just given you. You can copy exactly what I did, or you can do whatever you want. I prefer that you guys do whatever you want because I just kind of go with the flow. Like and subscribe so you can get more DIY tips and also budget tips on DIY items that you can buy for more for your money. And I hope you guys have a great day.